Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie. If you've ever seen this soup before, you probably got it at Olive Garden. It's chicken and gnocchi soup. It's going to be really, really good for supper tonight, as well as I made the egg roll in a bowl, and I kind of put some extra stuff in it. I put some little pieces of ham in there from a leftover ham that I had, and just used a bag of shredded coleslaw that was about to go bad, but was still good. So I went ahead and got that all fixed up with a little 5-spice Chinese spice, and also some ginger and garlic and stuff like that. Absolutely delicious. As well as that chicken and gnocchi soup, which we're so much after. So we've got kind of Italian going on and Chinese going on, and it'll go good together either way. Anyway, if you haven't heard from me for a little bit, it's been a little over a week. It's because I was waiting for the tiller to get done being serviced, and that happened a couple of days ago. We did get it back. It just happened to be that the carburetor was kind of all stopped up. So they got that all cleaned out. Hope that's not a yearly situation, but it probably will be. So we're just about ready to start tilling in the garden. It's been a little bit cold, so we've not really worried about that right now. But it will get up and going again very soon. Let me go ahead and show you what we've been doing out in the garden so far. So right now we're out here in the container part of the garden. This is on the extension of the concrete area that I have. And we made another kiddie pool, and we've got our strawberries all separated in there. I put those in a prior video, and we've already got some greenery showing up on those, even though it's been cold. Got some sprouts all going on in here. So I think there's 17 strawberry plants that we separated out of 2 hanging pots and put that in here. And then the center section is still empty. We'll probably put some onions or something. I haven't decided as yet. And we're still working on the container garden part over here because we don't want to plant in it too early. We've got some tarragon going on over there, and just some basil and oregano and a couple other things that we've replanted in some of the pots. Just rearrange some of the pots around, kind of cleaning up the area, even though it really doesn't look like that so far. We've still got a lot of cleaning up to do. The clematis in these 2 planters or raised beds has really started taking off now, regardless of the temperatures. And we do have a couple of radishes left in there, but I do need to go ahead and get those replanted because they did get killed out with the very cold temperatures that we had. But the lettuce in here hung on. So lettuce in there is still doing fine. The clematis that we have in here is actually sprouted up. The couple of the nasturtiums have started putting some greenery on, so we'll probably see those. And we've got some cress planted in the green basket there, or planter. Got some cress in there that should start coming up pretty soon. We've got more strawberries here. I need to get my daughter to empty the water out in that one, because at this point it's kind of waterlogged, I'm sure. We had rain for the past 3 days, both day and night, so that was really good, even though it was cooler temperatures. We had a little bit of snow even, but overall I think we got over an inch of rain in the last 3 days, which is excellent. We really needed that. So there's a little bit of talk of possibly some drought, and we're hoping that's not going to happen, but it could be a possibility. We've got our spinach in here, still doing great. It's getting its 3rd and 4th leaves now. Probably will thin it out pretty soon because it's kind of thick in there. The garlic and shallots have really just put on a lot of growth regardless of the cool temperatures. So you see those there. I've got some volunteer borage that's in there that had came up. But also, even without the tiller, I've been working on getting the ground turned over because I want to get my potatoes planted. So all of that is actually really, really soft, loose ground, and I've been pulling up some extra rocks going kind of deeper this time. And I did all of this by hand. Most of my garden I had done by hand before I got the tiller last year anyway, so it's just something that I know how to do. I just take it slow, kind of just move methodically throughout the garden, and the only section I haven't done so far is that right there, which I just cleaned out of most of the corn stalks and stuff from last season. Got a couple of them still in there I need to pick up, but just working on that. My grandson's little raised bed is doing fantastic. It's a little fabric raised bed. He's got loads of lettuce in there. His carrots have came up. He's got a couple of radishes. I'm going to put him a replacement broccoli in here. Now the temperatures have started warming up. Started working on some of the pots, getting those resituated. I've been working on this area, which is the main garden. Getting the trellises kind of moved around. I wanted to do more beans this season, so I moved the trellises to where we have like a 3-panel setup here. And these are really tall panels. They're 6 feet tall, so they will work very well for beans. I have every single season that I've used them. And then of course I'm going to put some bush beans in the section where I had runner beans last season. I'm going to put bush beans over there this time because those did really well. So we'll have the runner beans over here and then the bush beans over there. So we're working on all of this through here. I'll probably put the artichokes again next to the sprinkler, which is right in that corner of the house there. I'll put the artichokes back in that section so that way they get plenty of water. And getting a lot of the trellises cleaned off, still working on it. It's kind of difficult. Those stalks from those beans was pretty thick. So we've got that cleaning up. It's just been a never-ending process of cleaning the garden and all of that stuff because we want to get a lot more food out this season than we did last season, which last season was a bumper crop. So just a lot to do through here. So see, still working on that section over there. That will have to be tilled because it is just so packed. But I may get in here and see what I can do with just the using a garden hoe and pitchfork and some of the other things that I have, just to see if I can do it without the tiller. I would prefer no dig if possible. But a lot of it's been dig already, and it probably will be for at least the next couple of seasons until we get this ground really loosened up. Because for the longest time it was nothing but a flower bed that had been neglected, and now it's being worked over and has been for the past 6 seasons now. So lots of space through here now to work on. Got to get the onions out pretty soon. Got to get my peas planted. I'd already dug my rows for the peas. Oh yes, and this is the new trellis. And unfortunately I should have got 2 more panels. But I just went to Menards again, which is where I got these at on clearance. And unfortunately they were out of stock. But they are getting more. Yay. They're not on clearance anymore. But I will go ahead and get those anyway to finish out this trellis. I'll get 2 more. They're $10 each, which isn't too bad. The ones that I got on clearance were like $4 each. So not a huge difference, but it'll be a little bit of a cost that I incur for this garden season. I did go to Menards today and picked up some celery because the celery I have is still really small. I'm going to work with it and see if I can get it a little bit bigger, but this will be the first season I've ever grown celery. So we'll give it a try. I'm going to put it next to where the sprinklers are as well, probably through that section where the lettuce was last season, just because that doesn't use for a whole lot, and it does get a lot of sun. So we'll put it through there. I've started working on all the little strips where we have some available ground so I can plant some more. You can see my rhubarb there is just enormous now. I'm getting much bigger every day. Got more leaves coming on. And roses still have not started putting on any leaves yet, but they still have green stalks down in there. So they're fine. They're just still dormant. We did take the hens and chicks out of the garden and put them in this little container here until we can figure out what to put them on, where they can be protected. And I did transplant my parsley today. I had a pot of parsley that I went ahead and separated out. I had quite a few little stalks in there, so I went ahead and got these in here and separated those out. So I put some parsley in this container, and then of course I have parsley in the garden that is just now starting to green up a little bit, and we've got some chives and stuff like that still carrying on. And I'm still going to take out these onions, I think, and replant some more in here because I have noticed that they're just going to seed, and just lots and lots of stuff happening. And still working on this over here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put my blueberry bushes, which I've tipped over again in the wind. They tip over constantly. I'll go ahead and put those in through this section, I believe, where it's a little bit more shady, because I like a little bit more shady stuff. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And hopefully we will see you with way more updates in the next one.